Oh my goodness, happy British summertime. I was away when it actually became officially British summertime, and Mother Nature is giving us all of the feels right now with this weather. It is hot tamale, as the cool people would say. I have just been handed an iced coffee, and this is made with coffee, hazelnut praline ice cream, and a little bit of Oatly barista. I'm gonna let you know what I think. I feel like this is gonna be amazing. Well, it's not that icy. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's lovely. That's a lovely way to make an iced coffee. It's not too sweet, but still sweet enough, because sometimes it can be a bit bitter. Oh yeah, that's lovely. It is so warm today. Oh my goodness. It must be over 30 degrees. I genuinely can't believe it. But I'm back in the UK, sporting a very, very welcomed Italian tan. I don't think I've ever had so many compliments on my tan. And do you know what? I wore Factor 30 every single day, but it was a special Factor 30. I'm gonna pop a picture of it on screen because I actually used it all up when we were there. Both Ali and I were using it. But that was a fly. There are flies everywhere. This is the time of the year when living next to a farmland is a bit... It's the Lancaster. I don't know the actual official name of it. I didn't read it. I didn't pay much attention. Lancaster Biphase Factor 30 oil. I did not burn. I felt like I got a really lovely tan, especially because we only had about 3 days in the sun and everyone has gone, I actually can't believe how brown you are. I am putting it down to that sunscreen. I have never had it where I've managed to still tan like an Italian, but not burn like an English. And that sunscreen was incredible. 110 going to repurchase. I'll pop a link down below. It's incredible, absolutely incredible. So I'm back, it's boiling hot. The garden is spicy at the moment. And I thought I'd say hello, it's good to be back. Let's crack on with the day. It is so warm, although I think it is going to cool off just a little bit over the next few days, which I think is going to be welcomed, which is why I'm in here. I'm currently hiding in the air-conditioned room because it is a joy to have this. I cannot tell you, we have it on when it's really warm, and it means I can come in here and I can actually think. I'm actually doing something really fun in this video as well. I am planning a little girls' dinner party, and it's something I want to get better at, and I thought the only way that I'm going to get better at doing this is by practicing with you. Now, I'm not someone that's going to be like having a floristry team or a team of staff that are going to be helping me do these things. I really love that more rustic, throwing things together, making my own menus, thinking up recipes that I'm going to put together. And so that's what I'm doing in this video, and I thought I could take you through the process of me doing it as I get better, because I love learning to do things better and getting better at things. Who remembers when I couldn't cook and I couldn't bake, and yet here we are. Okay, maybe if you squint your eyes, maybe I can. But I also wanted to talk through some of the beauty products that I used whilst I was on holiday, but also that I've been using in the run-up to events. Beauty products and beauty devices, because I don't think I have ever had so many questions about products. I literally have people asking to borrow things from me, and I thought that it would be super interesting. So I've actually got a little makeup bag of bits and pieces, but the one that I want to start off strong with is from a brand that the OGs will know. It's from a brand called Foreo, and if you bought one of my cult beauty boxes, you may well already own one of the Foreo Lunas. When I tell you that was an entire era of like my online world, it's making me want to dig mine out. I can't believe I haven't been using it, especially when I'm going makeup free so much more now. That product for getting really deep, clean skin, oh my goodness. But this is their newest innovation, and when I tell you, I feel like I have been waiting for this product for a number of years, because I think that the LED face mask industry has literally boomed over the last few years, and finding one that's compatible with my life, that actually clinically works, because what maybe you don't know is Foreo is a brand that is Swedish, and they put a huge amount of emphasis on clinical testing and making sure that their products actually work. It's why the brand has done so well, and they have so many different devices to tackle so many of our day-to-day skin wants, ailments, preferences, and that kind of thing. However, the design of this literally rocked my world. First of all, I just want to like get in there with the stuff that I'm super interested in. Obviously, I've got a discount code, and if you want to get 35% off on top of their birthday deals, then please do. I'll pop all of the information on screen. They're basically celebrating 12 years of Foreo, and they've got huge birthday deals on their website at the moment, but I have a discount code, which is Lydia35, and it will get you 35% off on top of those deals. This mask is more of like an investment piece, but when I tell you, I want you to understand that I have been paying at least half the amount of this mask in monthly treatments just to go and sit somewhere and use one of these masks, to use the technology, to use the lights. Essentially, that's what I've been doing. Now I've got one in my home that I can use and multitask at the same time, because this one doesn't have a cable. There's no cable. You charge it, you do what you need to do, and then you put it on your face. You set whatever like treatment you want. They have loads of different treatments. It basically teams with an app on your phone. You can just use one of the singular lights, or you can have like an overall treatment. And so it's super compatible with my life, first and foremost. And the most important thing is I actually own it. I don't have to drive half an hour there and half an hour back and pay an extortionate amount of money just to borrow it for 10 minutes. Instead, I now have one in my home that I can use whilst I cook dinner, whilst I'm watching TV, whilst I'm reading my book. We'll get back to that. So basically, this is their LED face mask, but it also has NIR, which is near infrared. And this is the only mask that you can actually turn that off if you don't want to use it, but you can also have it turned on if you want to. It's kind of like a personal preference thing. The NIR is basically most helpful in the production of collagen, but again, if it's not something that you want to use, you can turn it off. Oh, Madam just joined me. The red light therapy is great for the reduction of wrinkles. The blue LED light is really good for the inflammation of like mild acne, which in all honesty is something that I suffer with. I've got very, very sensitive skin, and anything, whether it's diet, whether it's product based, can set my skin off. At the moment, it's hormone based. So I'm going to very much enjoy using this tonight whilst I read my book. The green LED light is for like improving dull skin tone and just brightening and evening out your skin tone as well. Orange is for skin texture. Yellow is for the appearance of redness. So I definitely feel like, Carrie, you might want to give this a try whenever you pop your head around the corner. Purple is for hyperpigmentation. Cyan is to calm stressed skin, which my skin gets stressed very, very easily. And actually, going back to the yellow, I believe that the yellow is very good for like if you get sunburn or something like that. So just as an FYI, in the summer months. For me, I've been focusing more on the sort of treatment of inflammation when my skin can get very easily inflamed, and just general skin brightness and beautifulness and just calming, that kind of thing. So what I love about it, first and foremost, is it's comfortable. And I think that when you're doing something that's supposed to be a bit of indulgence, supposed to be good for you, it needs to fit into your routine, and it needs to be something that you can sustain. It's just like taking supplements. If it's an unenjoyable experience, you're just not going to continue. However, this is comfortable. So when I'm settling into bed at night and I'm picking up my book, which I'm loving, by the way, I can pop this on and I can start using it for 5 to 15 minutes, and you can increase the frequency as you get used to it. But you don't just have to be sitting around. The fact that it is cordless is absolutely incredible. So when you put it on, I think on the grand scheme of things, it's actually not as frightening as others because it's clear and it's got 600 different LED lights on the inside. So this is a full face, like you're really maximizing on the treatment of your face, and it is snugly fitted but comfortably fitted, which I think is super important. You literally just turn it on here and you can select the light that you want to use just by changing this. So we've now got blue light, green, orange, purple, cyan and yellow. Now, You can obviously go into the app as well, which it pairs with so easily. Honestly, I feel like I'm a bit of a technophobe with these kinds of things, but you just scan the box and it literally registers everything. It was so easy. And you can go on and basically you go on to the FAQ 202 and it's got so many stats. I think this is the thing that's super important. Read everything on here because there are so many stats that have actual consumer results. So wrinkles reduced by 32% in 2 weeks. 100% of users report FAQ fits their face perfectly, and 100% of users would recommend FAQ to a friend. Lots of before and afters. It has clinical results. This is what is underpinned by Foreo, is they have clinical results. They don't just want to tell you something is good. They want other people to tell you. They want to have the stats to back up what they're saying. It reduces sebum by 18% in 2 weeks. It reduces acne by 48% in just 2 weeks. And you can go on and select your treatment. So they have lots of different treatments that you can choose from. There is an anti-wrinkle treatment. This uses red light, purple light and orange light, a combination, and it lasts 15 minutes. You can do a quick refresh, which I love this one. When I'm in the morning and I'm kind of like running late and I just want to refresh my skin before running out the door. It's a 5-minute, it's got red light, yellow light and orange light. This is a 5-minute fix to boost radiance for healthy and revitalized complexion. There's an oil balancing 12 minutes, 15-minute repairing, brightening 10 minutes, tightening 8 minutes, there's loads for you to choose from. So I'll take it off. So my discount code is Lydia35 and that will get you up to nearly 50% off once you've applied the code at checkout. And when you see the price, don't let it frighten you off or anything like that, because obviously I've got my discount code. So make sure you head on, check it out for yourself, read the reviews. I think that's super important, read the reviews. But what I love is that it fits into my life. If you're someone that likes to habit stack, combine treatments, this is one of those things where you're cooking dinner, you've got a 15-minute pasta on the go, mask on. You're doing the ironing, you've got a few shirts left to do, FAQ 202 on. I feel like in this day and age, that is the key to staying on top of these kinds of things and making them work for you. So I'll pop my discount code in the description box down below. I'll also pop all of the details about it as well, and also other Foreo products that I love. But this was definitely going to be first on my agenda of summer beauty essentials because I was using this in the run up to Ascot, and I don't think I've ever had so many compliments on my skin in the run up to Ascot, and also for my holiday as well. And I'm going to be using this for prep for my dinner party. Next up though, and I'll pop all of the details in the description box down below. Next up, the response to my skin, like my body skin, when I went to Ascot was wild, and it was this product. And as you can see, it's been lovingly used. I was requested to take this to Amalfi so that the bride could use this, and I actually ended up oiling up the bride before she did her first look with her husband using this, because she loved how my skin looked so much. And I cannot believe how many of you people shopped it from my stories. It was absolutely wild. It smells, so if you remember I was saying about the Dior bronzer and I wanted it in a perfume, this is it. So I had to give this a nod. It is the perfect, like, you've spent the day in the sun on holiday or in England and you want to finish off a little bit of tanning with some oil to really like make your tan pop from the day, and this is just perfect for that. It's not like a dry oil either. It feels like it's moisturizing your skin. I don't like oils that don't feel like they moisturize, so that's really good. Speaking of tanning, my sun cream that I took to Amalfi, unfortunately I finished it, but I will pop a picture of the bottle here, but I have a little bit of Lancaster just to show you. Now, bearing in mind, we arrived in Amalfi on the Monday evening and we went kind of straight for dinner. There was no sunbathing that day. Then we had the boat day on the Tuesday, and that was obviously like a whole day in the sun. I didn't burn, and I used that pretty much, I think, once in the morning and then once in the evening, and I went in the water. It's so good with its staying power as well, and it was a hot day. The next day we had the lemon walk in the morning, so I was wearing a dress. There was a little bit of like, obviously I was getting the sun, but I wasn't like laid out. My legs were definitely not getting the sun in that dress. But then we came back and we sunbathed until about 4 o'clock. The next day we sunbathed from the morning until 12, and then we got ready for the wedding, and then on the Friday we basically just did the morning and then we left. So it was a bit of sporadic sunbathing. I have never had so many compliments on how brown I was and the sort of quality of the brownness. My tan is probably the most even it has ever been for a natural tan. I don't know what to tell you, but I would say that in history that's the best sun cream I've ever used in my life, and it did me so well. Like, it served me so well. I finished it now, unfortunately, but I'll link it down below. Next up, I did a collaboration with this brand recently, and basically my DMs was full of what the fragrance was that I was utilizing, and I believe that they are discontinuing the fragrance that I have been using non-stop. If it's in stock, I'll link it down below, but basically they have a lemon and basil fragrance, and that's what I have been using. It smells like your favorite Jo Malone perfume, and for me this is one of those like everyday swaps that makes sense to me. I have my natural deodorant for every day. I don't want to be using harsh deodorants every single day. I want to be using natural ones. But sometimes there are going to be occasions, like if I'm going on a 20-mile hike or a 20-mile run or whatever it is, sometimes I might need something that's a little bit stronger. If I'm doing like a red carpet, I tend to get quite stressed, so I might need you know, something a little bit stronger. But my day-to-day, when, you know, I'm working away at home and I want that protection, I want the beautiful fragrance, but I want to use something that's more gentle and not full of harsh chemicals, this is what I use. From everyone that I've spoken to that uses natural deodorant, that's generally their approach. You almost have like a tiered approach, because I think that's what it is with chemicals and things like that, is that you don't really want to be using them every single day, but a day here and there doesn't hurt too much. Now, I'm not going to say that that's the right thing, but that's just my approach. I'm more of like I try and do my best with these things. So that's the fragrance. I love it. It smells so nice. And honestly, I don't think I've had a day where I've got to the end of the day and I haven't still smelt of lime basil and mandarin, or this is their lemon basil. So loved that. At the wedding, I had to do like 3 girls eyeshadows with my Armani eyeshadow. This is their 22M eye tint. I think that's the colour. I don't actually know. It's really great if you've got blue eyes. It just makes your eyes pop. I don't know what sorcery they've put in this, but I walked in and half the girls wanted me to put their eyeshadow on, so I did. Even the bride had me doing her eyeshadow, and I've never felt pressure like it. Obviously, you always want to do your friend proud, and I was like, I was not expecting to be entrusted with your makeup. Imposter syndrome. But yes, this is just one of those things that I feel like you kind of, when you find something like this that just instantly brightens up your face like that, it's so good. This is obviously the SPF that I took with me for my face, but this is so good when you're on your sort of downward spiral from tanning. This is the Allies of Skin Sunless Tan SPF Sunscreen and Self Tanner. This is so delicate in terms of like adding a bit of colour to your face whilst also giving you incredible protection. It's amazing. It's honestly, it's amazing, and I use it so much. This is my, other than the sample that I was given, it's my 3rd bottle, but my 2nd of the actual bottles, because I had obviously the sample. I'm going to rush through these last 4 quickly because I don't want to keep you too long, because I have a dinner party to plan. My lip of choice at the moment that I have been using, because I'm not wearing so much makeup, and obviously my FAQ mask is one of those things that's going to help facilitate my not wearing of so much makeup even more by improving my skin and the texture and the vibes and the look. This is my lip combo that I've been loving at the moment. You'll know the Lydia Millen Rose Thorn lip liner is like my holy grail all the time, but I've gone for a very sheer Victoria Beckham lip balm. This is her Fleur Posh Balm, and this is so nice because it really is like a balm with the tiniest hint of pink, and it just, again, I like minimal effort, maximum output. This is like a real like zhuzh of your face. A little practical one. This is from Amazon, and I get I get bitten quite a lot, especially in Italy. The Italian mosquitoes, the zanzara, they love me. They absolutely love me, and I don't love them. That's the only Italian that I don't love, and they absolutely destroy me. And I got the whole week without being bitten, and I turned to Ali on Thursday morning and I said, oh my gosh, we're in Italy and I've not been bitten once. There I was, Mrs. Cocky, going to the wedding without any bug spray on, and I'm stood there and I'm talking to the bride's sister and I just feel the spread of itchiness in my ankle, and I'm like, I've just been bitten. Fantastic. I would be lost without this. I order on Amazon. This is the Skin Balm Bite and Sting Relief 1% Cream Hydrocortisone. This is great to just have in your holiday arsenal at all times to just relieve the itching and the scratching of bites. And then finally, I have been loving this Oasis Veil Reviving Glow Mist. This smells exquisite. Absolutely exquisite. I ordered this as part of a Space NK order when I wanted some new mists, and I love this so much. This is like summer skin mist, and it's beautiful. It's a brand called Wind. I've never heard of it before. This is sensational. So those are my beauty bits and pieces that I have been using at the moment. Obviously, I'll link everything down below, and I'll link my discount code and everything for the FAQ 202 as well. You're gonna see me using it loads though, because I am so deep into this book, you have no idea, that carving out this special spa time as part of my evenings is really making the whole reading situation and relaxation and not spending time on my phone so much better. But also when I don't, if I'm cooking, if I'm doing something around the house, if I'm prepping for a dinner party, that is what I'm doing. I've got it on and I'm trying to use it sort of 3 to 5 times a week. So anyway, everything will be linked down below. Now it is time to start the dinner party prep. Right, ignore the state of me. I have just got back from giving Atlas a bath and I have settled on the menu for the evening. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to serve things on my little bistro set because I love it so much, but I think it's going to be snug with 3 of us. So what I'm going to do is set up a table next to it where we can put dishes and things like that so that people can help themselves and that kind of thing. Almost a bit like a sort of buffet, but beautifully presented. I have set the menu and designed it, and I just use Canva. I think Canva's amazing. We've got a printer here, so what I'm going to do, because it would be lovely to have it printed on card, but honestly, I want it to look lovely, but I don't want it to be a pain in the bum to get everything done. So I bought beautiful card from Amazon, and I'm going to print, you see it? I'm going to print this off on the printer and stick it on so that the menu sort of sits within the card. I think it'll look lovely and it shows consideration. For me, hosting has to be sustainable, and you can buy the sort of fill in yourself ones, but I don't like my handwriting too much. So doing it on Canva and then sticking it onto something that looks really lovely. You'll need to see my vision when it comes to life. You'll love it, I'm sure. And I think this is going to be the perfect opportunity to utilize my new antique napkins that my assistant bought me. She just comes home with some of the most wonderful old bits and pieces, and this, oh, they're just so stunning. Beautiful little napkins that I think will look lovely with the bistro set. She said that when she saw them, she could totally see me using them with the bistro set, so that's what I'm going to do. I've got a little stack of those napkins. I've gone and done a pre-Waitrose shop. I'm going to serve elderflower and sparkling water as like a pre-drink, and then if anyone wants any wine, I've got some Sancerre. Then for starters, we're going to have heirloom tomatoes and buffalo mozzarella with basil and olive oil, and also sourdough and homemade butter, just because I feel like that's always a good one to have a little bit of stodge as well. For the main dish, I'm going to do a sort of lemon pasta salad. I wanted it to be quite fresh and not anything too heavy and warm, because it's been so warm in England. So I thought a nice pasta salad would be lovely. And then for dessert, homemade ice cream with meringue and mint and maybe some berries. And then also I'll do a cake, just if anyone wants any cake. So I picked up some Sancerre to serve, and I also got some Waitrose elderflower as well. Bits and pieces in the fridge. We'll utilise what I can from the garden as well. I am now going to get myself ready for bed and a little spa session in bed, because I really want to read my book, but I need to go to bed early tonight because I've got PT in the morning. So let's get myself scrubbed up because Atlas well and truly put me through the mud. I know, my fault for wearing white. Who wears white to go and wash their horse? Me, apparently. Me. Oh my goodness me. Okay, it is still light outside, but I have been thinking about getting into bed since silly o'clock this morning, and I've just put on a fresh pair of pyjamas. These are probably one of my favourite pairs of pyjamas, I have to be honest. I feel like they look good in my home, and I feel like they are so comfortable, such a good size. I've seen that they do them in blue. I need them. It's just gone 10 o'clock. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop on a general treatment. I don't know if you've noticed, but my peri-oral dermatitis has got so much better in the last few months, and I genuinely would never have believed that using red light therapy would have such an impact if I hadn't started having facials where I was paying so much to have the red light therapy. Oh my gosh, it is nuts. So I think what I'm going to do, considering it is a hormonal time of the month, I will pop on something that's generally focused on acne and calming, I think. Tighten it up like so. Turn it on. That's a look, Lydia. Goodness me. And we have full battery, so I'm going to go to treatments. I've got clean skin as well, so I've just given myself a good deep clean with some gentle face wash, and I am going to go for, oh, I kind of want a repairing treatment. I can't decide this evening whether I want repairing or oil balancing or calming. I'm going to go for calming. So I've gone for the calming treatment, which has green, cyan and yellow. 5 minutes of each, and I'm going to get started on that. But because the FAQ mask is the FAQ Switzerland, it has a lot of the sort of technology. I don't know whether you know this, but the Swiss skincare and wellness technology is some of the best in the world. And that's why Foreo has always had such an incredible reputation in the industry, because when my face lights up like that, because they basically have access to the best of the best when it comes to skincare, wellness, that kind of thing. And that technology and that sort of higher level of design has gone into this particular mask, not just because it has the 600 nodes, so that it's really covering the entirety of your skin and your dermis, but also with how you can tailor make this treatment and how you use it to you. So I've got about 14 minutes left. We're currently on green LED, which is for brightening, dullness and evening skin tone. And whilst I do that, I'm going to pop some Elizabeth Arden on my feet, because they were hammered a little bit in Amalfi, and also do one on my hands. So I'm having a real full spa treatment, and then I'm going to get my book out. Are you okay, my love?
Can you share that then?
You want to use it too?
I'm just asking, can you share it?
Of course you can share it.
From a hygiene perspective.
You can clean it with this, so if you want to use it. If you want, I'll use it for 15 minutes and then you can use it.
Just to wash your face and everything.
Yeah, you've got to have clean skin before you put it on. So I'm going to get 2 of my little cotton socks and douse my feet in this and get a reading.
Pretty cool, isn't it?
It's very cool. And
looks
you
like
can...
you've got sunglasses on as well.
Thanks. And I rub the rest into my hands, let that marinate, and now I'm going to curl up with my book. But we have a queue because Ali would like to use it after me. So once I've done my 15-minute treatment, I will let him give it a clean, because you get a little cleaner with it, and he can use it once he's washed his face. Oh my goodness, this is the life, guys. Oh dear.
Making his bed. 40 is waiting for his dad. Now we have the aircon on, and Barkley and Porter really don't like the aircon, so we have to wrap them up in dressing gowns so that they get some warm, cosy sleep. Come on, Porty. Come on, 40. I'm exhausted.
Hi everyone. It is now a few days later and I've started working on the invitations, so I'm going to update you on those. I also freshly washed my hair, which is just, this is honestly my dream hair colour. Like, look at the way this is like the perfect highlight tone for my hair. I am so in love. Not the point of this video though. Just me checking myself out up there. I'm going to show you the invitations because what I really wanted to do was, the only thing I really wanted to buy for this dinner party was the food and the wine. That was the only things I really wanted to allow myself to spend money on. However, because I want to do these invitations, I did need to get something to facilitate them moving forward. So I've had to buy a Pritt stick and I had to buy the card, which has arrived. So you're going to see my vision come to life now. But I want this to be something that I can just use all of the stuff that I have and just throw stuff together and it be easy, and hopefully show you how easy it is to make use of the things that you've already got to do wonderful things like this for your friends when you can. I think for me, I want to do this in a way that doesn't feel daunting but still feels special, if that makes sense. So I'm hoping that's what we're going to achieve, and so far I think I'm not doing too badly. However, we had the disaster of all disasters. Who knew? Who knew that you could be borderline arrogant in making sourdough and then be so quickly humbled by the weather? I don't know if you've ever tried making sourdough in 30-degree heat, but it's a very different process. And I had to learn again how to make sourdough. Thankfully, we're not in that heat anymore, and I think that my dough is feeling a lot better now. Thank goodness, because it's a big part of the meal. So I'm currently doing some stretch and folds so that we have some fresh bread for the dinner party. I think I'm going to make a cake on Saturday, and I'm actually trying to decide what type of pasta we're going to have now, because I just feel like pasta is always a good idea. But anyway, I'm going to show you what I bought. The Pritt stick is on its way, by the way. So, another disaster, because I was like, this is great, Ali's got a printer so we can print off my menu, and the idea was this beautiful raw edged card. I wanted it to feel special, but I wanted it to be easy to do, and I was not about to send off invitations to be printed at printers, okay? No, not today. I'll do the stickers, but not for just one occasion. It's like a sort of duck egg blue. It's so pretty, this blue. And then I've also just received a plain sort of ivory one. So this one I thought was really good to have, and very, very versatile, because it means that you can do a menu however you like in Canva. You can find the colours and the tones, and the ivory will complement the colours just by keeping it simple. I thought this would be nice if you're doing like a bit of a blue theme. And seeing as my menu was blue, this was my menu, okay? So this is it printed off using Mr. Millen Gordon's printer. However, it only printed one in this colour. Then it came out in a sort of like cyan, bright blue, and that was not the vibe we were going for. This was the vibe. I was thinking, mounting this in the middle of the card like that, obviously it'll be stuck on all beautifully like that, and then it will be sat with a blue gingham tablecloth and flowers and things like that. So that was the vibe we were going for. Didn't happen, so I thought, do you know what? Don't worry, I've got a printer as well. Well, that printer printed it in green. In green, the only colour of card that I don't have. So I could go and change the sort of colour scheme to a green and ivory, but I actually think that the green looks quite nice on the soft blue as well. Now, I don't think the colours are necessarily coming across as beautifully as they should, but that is the general vibe. So those will be done. Once the Pritt stick arrives, I'll stick them down, and these will be on the little place settings for the girls to see what they're having and all the other bits and pieces as well. So now I'm going to do a stretch and fold, and then I'm going to relax and think about what I'm going to need to pick up from the food shop the night before, because some things you just need them fresh, and I want it to be as fresh as possible. So that's what we're going to be doing. Other than that, I don't think I have anything else to update you on yet. Still need to choose my tablecloth, but seeing as we have the menus done, that should be a lot easier. So when we get to that point, I will update you. But now, stretch and folds on my sourdough that is hopefully not going to look like a flatbread, because let me show you. Now don't worry, I'm going to make it into croutons. So it's all is not lost. All is not lost. Where there is a will, there is a way. You can imagine It looks like a scone. In fact, no, that's too complimentary. It looks like a cookie. It's a cookie, a big giant. Okay, I don't want to look at it anymore. It makes me sad. Honestly, I thought my sourdough making days were over. I was very, very upset. I think Ali was very upset as well because he couldn't have any bread. Right, whilst we stretch and fold, I can tell you that it's probably going to be a little bit sporadic around here for a while. There's just a lot coming up, a lot that you already know about, a lot that's potentially in the works, and a lot that's actually happening. And I always think that summer is a time to be spent outdoors anyway. So hopefully you won't miss a second video here and there from me, and you'll allow me to sort of be a little bit sporadic. I've been so sort of consistent over the years with my channel. Tried my best to be anyway, not 100%, but like I've always tried my best to be as like a small team to do so. But yeah, it's going to be a bit sporadic and it's exciting. Obviously for me it's always exciting and I'll always tell you when I'm actually allowed, but obviously there's lots of things coming up that you know about as well that I know that you're very excited about. Stretch and folds are going much better. I actually think I can leave these overnight. I was having to prove in the fridge overnight because my dough was just honestly going to mush. What other thing was I going to tell you? I was going to tell you other things. Sweet Pea's doing great. I actually think she is probably giving as good as she's getting. We keep her separate during the day and then just before bedtime when there's a few girls still out, I let her out and she's bold as brass, I would say. And what was the other thing that I needed to tell you? Can't bloody remember. But I'm very, very happy with how this dough is going. Oh my goodness me. I'm just gonna keep making dough and freezing bread so that we've got some for when I have difficult times. And also I'll probably make these either for gifts or for eating, and I'll start making dough again tomorrow so that we have warm bread for the actual dinner party. That is going to be left overnight to do its thing. I am also cleaning as I'm going and I have to tell you about this. Oh my goodness. So, you know how excited I got when I worked with Purdy and Fig. God knows how many videos ago now, and I feel like I can fit this in this video because I am obviously hosting, and you cannot host without having a lovely clean home. And they've released their summer scents and oh my goodness, they are so gorgeous. One of them smells literally like geraniums, and they've got one which I just think is incredible. This is their Summer Lawn, and when I tell you, that is green, freshly cut lawn, but with this sort of almost like wildflower florals in the end. If you don't know, Purdy and Fig is like, it's the cleaning brand that I genuinely wish I'd invented myself. It's all natural, it's all vegan, and the fragrances that come as part of the cleaning product smell incredible. It is like, I always say that it's almost like, you know when you put on a really special perfume, how it makes you feel. I always talk about the way that fragrance makes me feel. How it makes you feel is super important. I wanted the same for my cleaning products, okay? I wanted the same. And they've gone and bloomin' done it, haven't they? They've gone and bloomin' done it. And it's just wonderful, absolutely wonderful. So I wanted to let you know that their summer scents are out because they do almost like seasonal scents. They have their evergreen scents as well, but they also do seasonal ones, which I just think is so lovely. My favourite out of their evergreen scents is always Balancing Floral, but these summer fragrances, the geranium, oh, they're so good. So anyway, cleaning up after myself, as my husband would always have me do, being a good wife, and getting myself ready for the next stage of the dinner party. It might seem like I'm just jumping in here and there, it's because I am, because what I'm trying to do is do what I can beforehand so that I get to be the hostess with the mostess and be completely present. So, I said I was going to read tonight, but I 110% am going to sit and scroll on Vinted because I am obsessed at the moment. However, off the back of my hormonal breakout around my mouth, I have been utilising one of the set treatments for the last 2 nights. And usually my skin really struggles with healing after my time of the month. And it takes a long time for the swelling to go down. Pop this on like this. Face is clean. OBS, the oil balancing treatment that starts off with the blue light and then goes to yellow and green, reduces blemishes and oiliness, is actually going to be part of my routine in the run-up to my time of the month, because this has made such a dramatic difference in the healing process that I imagine that it would have a huge benefit on the pre time of my skin, so that maybe I won't get as many spots, because healing wise it's doing wonders. And then once it's sort of gone down, I'm going to go back to the brightening and all of that kind of thing. But for now, I'm going to sit, I'm going to scroll, and I'm going to look on Vinted and not read, and I should be reading. And then I'm going to go to bed. Okay, it's the day before my dinner party. I have just received my Pritt stick. I have not had one of these. It must be 25 years. I haven't had one of these. But these are the little menus that I ended up making. Don't look too closely at them. They're probably extremely rustic and, you know, not as beautiful as printed proper menus, but I think it's like the dedication and the effort that I've gone to, and I've done it all myself, and that makes it really special. So all I'm doing is gluing the backs of the menus that I've made to my little Amazon paper and sticking it onto the card, and then that is the first job done. That is all 3 menus done. Had a very active morning. I went for a hack with Atlas and Romeo, and I've just been for a dog walk with the boys. So now I am in full baking mode. I have just fed my starter so that we can have warm, fresh bread tomorrow for the dinner party. I think that will be really, really special as well. So 3 menus, all looking very pretty, I think. So that's that. Right, I'm about to make the dough, and when I have made the dough, I am going to start making the cake. That's the next thing that I want to make. Okay, my alarm has just gone off, so my starter should be ready. I always make 2 loaves. I feel like it's just good to have a backup, as I have learned over the last few weeks with the weather being hotter. Good to have a backup. So 2 loaves coming up. Well, 2 doughs coming up. Loaves will be tomorrow. So, whilst the bread does its thing for an hour before its first stretch and fold, I am going to make the cake, because this will be absolutely perfect tomorrow for dessert. So these things I bought in a cake shop, a local cake shop. I'm sure you can get them on Amazon. They are the best thing ever, because I don't have to like cut out my liner anymore. Yes, you get little pretty ridges in the side, but Annie likes those things, so you know. Anyway, we're gonna need some hen's eggs. Obviously, for the cake, we're gonna have to go and get some eggs from the hens, and today is the first day that Sweet Pea, I've been allowing her out with the rest of them because I think she's bored. So I'm just gonna grab the eggs and probably some lemons as well for the cake from my greenhouse, although I think I've got 2 from my greenhouse from last week, so I'll probably use those instead. Perfect. 3 eggs. Ingredients are all set out for the cake. Milk, lemons from my greenhouse, eggs from the hens, self-raising flour, golden caster sugar, and butter. Good to go. I am just grating the zest from the lemons in my greenhouse, and I cannot put into words how much stronger these smell when you grate them than lemons from the shop. I honestly wish that I could grow more of them and just have my own lemons all year round, because they're just something else. It's honestly a completely different experience. It's obviously, the smell of lemons is always beautiful, but This is so much stronger, so much more fragrant, almost like floral. It's, ugh. If you can, just grab yourself one lemon tree, and you can just have lemons for when it's like a special occasion. You can obviously keep it indoors during the winter, and then in the summer you can put it outside, and I would highly recommend. I wish that I could have my own sfusato lemon tree from Amalfi. That's what I would like. My own special sfusato. Milk going everywhere, Porty. Okay, raspberry and lemon cake, 50 minutes. I have 11 minutes until I have to do my first stretch and fold, so I am going to give the kitchen a bit of a tidy up. Excuse me, Portaline, I need to get there. Whilst the cake is in the oven, I shall be doing my first stretch and fold. Don't worry, I won't be doing all of them with you. It is just part of the process. Hey Siri, set an alarm for 1 hour.
1 hour, starting now.
Cake is out of the oven and we have an unreal rise on this cake. I am so happy, and I love it when you get a little bit of the raspberries just still poking through. Oh, over the moon with this. Okay, I've made the second dessert, which is a berry and cream ice cream, but I am going to freeze this for tomorrow. I hope it's okay, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm at that point in the night where I'm thinking, what have I done? Not only did I set a menu, but I've also like tacked on a few things to the end of it, like making homemade elderflower and rose lemonade. That's what I'm making at the moment. And I've got about 9 lemons to squeeze. My fingers are stinging, but we're gonna give it a go. I can't believe I'm doing this. But the ice cream is in the freezer. Fingers crossed it's okay for tomorrow. I know, Lulu, you want me to go to bed, but I'm making lemonade. Lulu, just go to bed. If you want to go to bed, you've got food, you've got... Right, I'll get the bed ready for you. If you need to go to bed, you can go to bed. Acting like she can't go to bed. The bed is yours. You just let me sleep in it. I don't know what your problem is. You've got food, you've got crunchies, you've got bed. You can go out whenever you want. Blimmin' heck. Now, I know I'm doing this the rustic way and the traditional way, but if anyone could tell me a way that you could squeeze lemons without burning your hands, because honestly, I have the like most sensitive nail beds ever, and getting lemon juice underneath them is smarting. Only 4 more to go. Why did I do this? How many pips have we got? 2 pips. We'll get them out, we'll get them out. There's lemon juice bloody everywhere. So far, I don't mean to brag, but my lemons from my lemon trees were the juiciest. And I didn't expect them to be, considering how wrong I get taking care of them. Do you know what I can't stop saying in my head? Sfusato. What a great word. Sfusato limone. After this, I'm going to blooming bed. It's 11 o'clock. I've not even read my book. This hostessing malarkey, I'm not sure if I like it. Well, that is not bad. Okay. Oh, my fingers burn. My fingers burn. Sugar syrup is cooling, and I have some elderflower cordial, and I also have some rose water, which I genuinely think, oh my goodness, this with some water. If you don't like water on its own and you want something super elegant, then this is just so nice. I can't believe how lovely it is. Madam, would you like me to get you settled in bed? I'm going to get you settled in bed. Come on. Come on, Lumi. Let me get you settled. I promise you, all I have to do is sit in the bed, and that's enough for her. Come on. Come on. I put my legs out. She'll nestle into my legs, and then she'll be happy to fall asleep, and I can just get up and leave. Sometimes I actually don't know if I'll laugh or cry with the animals that we end up with. I'm like, yeah, we can totally take another animal. What on earth? Just curl up and go to sleep. Curl up. That's it. Perfect. Perfect. The roast chicken is in bed. You go to sleep. Good girl. I am not convinced that this means she's going to go to sleep. This could well be the beginning of a very, very long night. But she looks comfortable. Whilst I wait for my sugar syrup to cool, I'm going to wash my face, and I'm going to do, because obviously, I don't know whether you can see, but my hormonal spots are gone. It was so weird. After I did the second, because I've used this mask loads, but I've never thought to use it to try and like almost alter my skin at my time of the month, because my skin type completely changes. And so I never use things that are like sebum drying and that kind. I never use things like that, because that's not what my skin is like, except around a few days of my time of the month. And so I thought this time I'm going to try and use it. And it was so weird. After using it like the second or third time, I was like, my skin feels like so much drier. And so I literally like reached for this Weleda smoothing day cream, because Weleda is quite like intensive. So I reached for that because I was like, I feel like I need moisture, but it did the exact thing that I wanted it. So now I think I'm gonna wash my face, do a treatment with my FAQ 202, and this time focus on something that's maybe not so specific and just look at the overall. I'm thinking brightening, I'm thinking illuminating, I'm thinking all of the good vibes. Let's get my face washed. I'm in a weird mood, I need to go to bed. It's too late. Why am I making lemonade at 12 o'clock at night? Bit of moisturiser. Tell you what, walking around with an apron on all day is the best thing ever, because you just wipe things on yourself all the time and it's so good. That's simple. Okay, do I go for revitalizing or brightening? I'm gonna go revitalizing. When I tell you I can't cope, a sleepy Barky is the most special. But it is time to go out for bedtime wee-wees. Come on, baby Barky. Come on, baby Barky. It's bedtime. It's bedtime, my cheesy boy. Bedtime. They have been watching a film in there. I was making rose, elderflower and lemonade from scratch. This is the cordial for it to go in. I'm gonna add sparkling water to it tomorrow to see how it goes, but oh my gosh, the cordial itself tastes delicious. It says it only lasts for 2 days. If I can freeze it, I have no idea. But what this leaves for me tomorrow to do is set the table, ice the cake, lay out the buffalo mozzarella and the tomatoes and present it, bake the bread, and I need to make the mains. Other than that, I think we're good to go. I'm going to bed. I'm so tired. I'm up. We're putting the dough in the basket. Rose flour. Looking jubbly. I always use my dough to try and clean the bowl as much as possible. Get as much of it off so I don't have to wash up as much. And pop it in the fridge. At least I've managed to get myself ready, because that's usually the last thing that I do, but it has been pouring with rain. The garden loves it and the sun has just come out, so I'm hoping that there's still a possibility that we might be able to have dinner in the garden. I am just starting on the cake and I am getting ready to cut it in half. I've taken some pre-homemade buttercream frosting, which I'm going to put in the middle, and then I'm going to dust the top and put some flowers and things like that. I think we're going to see how it goes. I hate doing this part because I feel like it can just so easily go wrong. But here we go. Let's do it. Okay, the cake looks good. Cake looks good. A little bit wonky, but never mind. Okay, can we now spread this? Oh yeah, that's looking good. Much easier with a knife than a spatula. It's not as tall as I would have liked, but never mind. It doesn't have as much presence, but never mind. Okay, it doesn't look horrendous. It doesn't look horrendous. It looks okay. It just looks okay. Next up, we're going to make the lemon pasta. So I've got 2 packets of fresh pasta here, and I am just filling up the saucepan. Just put a big knob of butter in here, and I'm gonna let this cool down and make the dressing, because this is a pasta salad, so it can be served cold, and I feel like that's gonna be a lot more refreshing while still being filling and hearty. We are going to make the dressing for the pasta salad with white wine vinegar, extra virgin olive oil, fresh basil from my garden, pine nuts, lemon, all of the good stuff. Oh my goodness, this sauce smells so good. Now, what I'm doing at the moment is just mixing it all in, and then I'm going to leave it to marinate for as many hours as possible. Pine nuts. All the pine nuts that we have. Oh my gosh, this looks so good. So good. So good. Okay. Pasta is marinating. The 4th or 5th dishwasher is on, and I think, other than making the sparkling water to go in the rose and elderflower lemonade, all I've got left to do is make the tomato and mozzarella salad. Now I'm going to do 2 just sort of mini portions and do them in the center of my anemone plates. I think that'll look really nice, and it means that there's not too much either. The sun is now coming out again. Literally when I went out to get the basil, it poured again, and it's been raining ever since. But it is supposed to stop at 2 o'clock-ish. However, other thing I need to do, bake the bread. Gotta bake the bread, light the candles. What I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lay the table inside for now, but I'm gonna set up, if I get the opportunity, just go and set up the table so that if I want to move it outside, I can. Going to use my favourite hack for linen. This has been crumpled in one of my cupboards, and I'm going to use just my water spray. This is actually a brand new Perlium big bottle. I can't find my usual water spray, so this is going to have to do. Now what this does is it allows the linen to settle and drop the creases out as well, so it looks like it's almost been ironed in situ, which I love. It also gives it time to dry when you do it now. And just pay close attention where there's any sort of thick creases. Already, the difference is unbelievable. Let me show you. So this is what's been sprayed, and this is what hasn't been sprayed. I honestly think that this is one of the best things ever, because I never like anything that's too perfect. You know, I always tell you that. I don't like the linen to look perfect. I like it to be a little bit lived in, but not that lived in. Okay, it's very likely that you can see the mess behind me. These are the plates that I'm going to use, my little anemone plates. I love them so much. And I'm just chopping up some tomatoes and placing them around the outside of the plate to just create a bit of a like halo, but still show the design of the plate so that it looks pretty. The sun's coming out and it's raining. And voila. Looks a little bit like that. Okay. Now we take the buffalo mozzarella. I love this because it's super creamy in the middle, and you just split it open like a little flower and put it in the center so that it opens up like that. And then I get some basil from my garden and I stick this in the center. It is literally like minimal effort, maximum beauty. And then I just take some more basil leaves and just fill in any blank spaces at the center of the plate, and I just tuck them underneath. It just works so well. And what I will do is I will cover this with cling film and just pop it in the fridge for when we're ready, because you want it to be nice and fresh and cold. And when I take it out, I'll drizzle it with some olive oil, some salt, that kind of thing. Bizarrely, I don't think I'm going to use any flowers. I am loving how these pots of basil look. So I think I'm actually going to maybe pop some tomatoes on the table instead and just make a bit of a display around each of the pots perhaps. And all of the tomatoes that I've got, I'm going to be using this week anyway, because I've got a bit of a glut of courgettes. So I want to make a pasta sauce that I can freeze to eat throughout the winter. No brainer. Use your, what's it called, your displays for batch cooking. You'll thank yourself in like November when you're like, oh, I just want a warm plate of fresh vegetable pasta. That I think it might be a bit of a waste to make the entire geranium and rose lemonade. So I'm going to freeze little not cubes, but like sticks of it so that I can add sparkling water to it whenever I want. So I pop them in my sopa cubes. These are honestly the most useful thing I think in the kitchen if you want to preserve things. You just freeze them in here, pop them out, and then put them in bags and label them. It is game changing. Well, I have made the lemonade. I actually did it with carbonated water as well, but it was home carbonated water. I do find it's really difficult to keep the fizz in your own like sparkling water. So I feel like now it's not that fizzy, even though I did it like 2 seconds ago, but it is delicious when it is fizzy as well. And then I even had a little bit left over to pop in these two that we can probably have tomorrow or something like that, but it's so good. Oh my gosh. Sourdough is in the oven and the girls are due to be here in 50 minutes. So that should be resting really nicely when they arrive. They've got the last of the home churned butter out, so I'm gonna have to do some more of that. This is one with herbs from my garden as well. I'll pop some bread on here. And I didn't realize that geranium flowers are also edible. So I'm thinking to just pop some in the top of the cake because they're so pretty, these ones. These are from the lemon pelargonium and they're so pretty. I almost think that these flowers complement the fact that it's raspberries that are in this cake. So that I quite like. Oh yeah, this is perfect. I felt like it was looking a little bit flat before, but now with the flowers, it is perfect. Oh, I love it. It's a little bud. I feel like I need some more. I need some more. I am beyond excited for how this is looking. Oh my gosh. I even get to use my antique silver cake forks and my monogram linen. Obviously, I think I needed probably some bigger tomatoes. I think if we had some big, juicy tomatoes, it would have balanced things nicely, but oh well, doesn't matter. Pasta's on the table, bread will be here soon, and the girls will be arriving soon. Oh, wine. You like it? Good.
When are you gonna get a cow?
A cow?
Yeah. That's next on your list, surely. I know, just so you can have like your own milk.
I mean, I'd love that. I would love that.
Cheers. Cheers. Thank you so much.